All right. Test.
Test.
Story caught my eye, Nick. This sounds old. Maybe it is old, but I like 60 Minutes on Sunday evenings. I've been watching 60 Minutes for a long time, and they have a podcast version of the television show, and that's usually how I catch it. Okay, it's strictly just a recording of the television show. That's it.
Yeah.
So you don't, and you get enough out of it to visualize what they're talking about, but they also you can go pull up the CBS website and get individual stories of 60 Minutes, whatever. It's all there. You can find it, YouTube, etc. So still, by the way, if you don't really watch 60 Minutes, it's just still a rock solid program, in my opinion. It's all kinds of interesting stories. The subjects vary every week. It's not a quote unquote old person show.
60 Minutes does get that rap though, eh? Like it does. Why is that? Is it because of the clock ticking, like the pocket watch? I don't know.
It's just maybe known. It's Sunday. It's maybe an older person. Maybe people remember watching it with their grandparents or something. I don't know, but it's one of the longest running television shows. Period.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's solid journalism. It's it's good stuff. Yeah.
And it's not political. They give you both sides of the story. It's not like they don't lean one way or the other. They give you just I don't know. Anyhow, I caught a story this past weekend, luxury bunkers. Okay. So basically, people, the well-to-do, some of these folks are buying luxury bunkers, and it sounds exactly what it is. So it's you're making one on your own. You're setting up an elaborate bunker somewhere. Could be in your own home, or again, one guy here bought an old nuclear. What was it here now? Let's see here, a silo, a nuclear silo. Here it is. This guy paid $300,000 in 2008 for a decommissioned nuclear missile silo. He and investors put $22 million into this thing. It holds 75 people. There's 14 private units in this thing. Each one goes for $2.4 million cash.
Hoo-wee.
Okay. Look this up. If you're listening to us, just look up luxury bunker 60 Minutes or luxury bunkers or something like that. It is astounding. There's gel fireplaces, televisions, power source. They have a wind power source. They have I don't know if there's a picture of this or not, but they described it. They have a lounge and a bar. They have a jail cell.
So their own working community underground, basically.
Working community underground.
Somebody comes down and goes, "Hey, we've reestablished society. You guys can come back up now." Like, that's all right. I'm gonna stay down here. It's fine. There's a bar down here. That guy got out of hand. He's in fucking jail. That's fine.
The guy said, "Yeah, I noticed. It looks like a jail cell over there." The guy says, "Yes, because we have a lounge and a bar. So if somebody has a bad day and drinks too much or whatever, then they take an adult time out."
Have a bad day. What happened at your fake work underground that you had a bad day, had to go let off some steam, and got put in fake jail underground by the mole people? What the fuck is happening?
It's wow. And I guess you could sustain a couple years in there, right?
Yeah.
But it interviews different people who have set up. I think if I remember, it's basic ones to more elaborate ones on their own in their area to prepare for an apocalyptic event. Now, somebody, if I remember correctly, what they lived through, they ran down into their own bunker for, it was like a major fire or something like that. That rushed came through the area, and they got out of there okay. But some people, they take us very, very serious.
Was that the guy in the cabin with the handlebar mustache or whatever? I caught that part of the...
Yes.
He had like the mustache and the glass. He
might have been the guy.
Just with
he might have been the investor guy. He might have been the guy that helped set this up, perhaps. I know you're talking about. Yeah, in the story.
Yeah.
Just very interesting. Yeah, people take it very serious. They have like freeze dried food and different things. One lady described that it took her 2 years on order to get a wood burning stove because they were so hard to get. But now that she has her stove, she's all set and this and that. So people are preparing for something. They mentioned things like, the climate change and different things to where they may need to get somewhere safe quickly and they can sustain themselves. And they say that, they're hopeful for, one question basically is, well, do you think something's going to happen because you're doing this? And some people believe, I just want to be prepared in the sense that I want to be able to survive because I have hope for the future and I want to live through it versus, whatever. So I don't know. And honestly, I looked up just, luxury bunkers just to try to find a news story. My feed was filled with companies selling bunkers. The whole Google page, boom. It wasn't even about the news story. It was
that algorithm was on it. They were like, "Hey, you in the market? You looking to buy all these bunkers?"
Yeah, all these companies selling bunkers at all kinds of different prices. It's really something else here, and I'm sure it's probably become more and more popular. Of course, with all the actual natural disasters and everything else that's going on.
Sure,
people are they want to be prepared just in case. So. I remember a Richard Pryor, though, on the other side of it. Richard Pryor, and this is a bit in the 70s or whatever. I just thought it was hilarious. He was talking about that. He was talking about people, setting up a bomb shelter at home,
mm-hmm.
And it's like, that's great. If when the bomb hits, you're home.
That's true.
He said, but if we're out like this, we're fucked.
Yeah, right. Yeah. What if you're on vacation that week? You ain't fucking getting home. What if you're states away? Like, you're fucked.
That's right.
Yeah.
It was like, but if a bomb drops on this theater and there's a fire or something like that, I got news for everybody in this theater. I'm getting out. But anyways, that's just a hilarious comment.
What if you spent like hundreds of thousands of dollars? Let's not say it's not even luxury. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. Have you ever seen the movie Blast from the Past? Like with Brendan Fraser and Alicia Silverstone? That's essentially what happened. There was, they were prepping for, a bomb or something like that. So they built underneath their home, they built this bunker. Christopher Walken was the dad. They built this, it was a replica of their home underground. Okay. And then, so he had this, fish, where they would spawn and they basically had an endless supply of fish. So they had food to eat. It was always, regenerating. He had everything set up. He was, Brendan Fraser was born underground and was homeschooled and all this stuff and never seen the sky, but they had an outdoor patio. They had fake grass. He replicated their home underground, right?
Okay.
So it's, for what it is, it's a decent movie, like mid to late 90s or whatever. Let's say you did all this stuff, right? Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Sure.
To really think this shit through. We're not talking about canned goods. We're talking about fish and all this stuff. And they're respawning. You're eating fish, and you got the canned goods. You got all the tools in place. You've got a whole second life that you paid, built underground, right? You run out to the store to get something one day, run-of-the-mill day, and then fucking catastrophe happens, and you're not there. What then?
Right,
what
exactly.
Then?
Right.
You can't get there. It's already happened. That's a really good... I've never once thought of that, and that is brilliant. That is such a good point. I've never thought of that. What if you can't get to this safe space? What if you're, I don't know, living your life like you do, and you're not at home 24/7, and you can't get to your safe place that you did all this prepping for?
Yeah.
What do you do?
It's certainly assuming you're right, that you have something's coming.
Yeah.
And you could get there. Like this here, the guy I see you in the luxury bunker, the guy was like, well, could it be overrun? People know it's here, and this particular bunker here, the silo thing, has armed guards and a gate and this and that. But again, that could fall apart too. The armed guards may say, "We're out of here because there's something's happening." Are they going to stand there at a post?
Yeah.
I'm
going to be employed by you for potentially the rest of my life. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, I get the guy's point that people aren't going to be able to run up to this bunker and do any damage to it. I get that too. But again, you still got to get in there, and you got to get from your car into the thing. And if people are overrunning that, I mean, I don't know. It's all very interesting. It's like a perfect thing if you can get there safely and get inside, then you're okay for a little bit. But I don't know. So what do you think about it? Are people, are they smart in some respects? Or maybe it depends on where you live. Maybe if you're in an area where a natural disaster is maybe likely to happen, and you're more likely to be home and can get to safety, that makes maybe a little bit more sense to me personally.
I mean, I don't
know. But to have a luxury bunker, again, are you smart in some ways, kooky, or maybe a little bit of both? I don't know. What do you think?
I think both can be true here. Like, it's so initially when that subject comes up and people talk about like their like doomsday preppers and the all the stuff, and they're compiling all these goods, and you're like, oh, okay, like, what I mean? Like, if you meet one of those people in real life, like, sorry if you're listening, but if you, just speaking for myself, if you're talking to me about like, and you're putting plans in action to like prep for something, there's that thought in my head that I'm like, oh, okay, this might be a screw or two loose, right? Like, like that you're maybe not that you're not thinking soundly. It's just that maybe you're going overboard, right? Because we've had the luxury in my lifetime, in our lifetimes, that nothing that severe has ever happened to where we have to be afraid or be that fearful or think that we have to go to that extreme, right? I will say, since having children, it sure would suck, right, to be in a situation where like you can't do anything. Like, when I was a single guy or whatever, it's like, okay, if something happens, then I die. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not that I don't value my life. It's just whatever. You know what I mean? But then you have children, and then you're like, it's your duty to like protect them and do all the, like make sure they're okay. And, for example, we're talking about these people that do all this preparation and they survive if there's apocalypse or there's climate disaster. Like, you're still on the earth. Like, in the back of my head, I'm like, what are you surviving for? You know what I mean? Like, for what reason?
That's a thing too.
What are you going to go back to, if there's anything to go back to? Are you planning on living the rest of your this mortal coil in this bunker until you die, just so you don't have to die? Like, it's, you know what I mean? What is the end goal, right? But then you have kids, and then you're like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. Your only goal is to protect them and take care of them, and nothing happens to them. So, I don't know. I think both things are true. I think, yes, like, it's extreme. It is extreme. And I'm probably, a lot of these people that do this doomsday prepping would probably be like, yes, this is extreme. They would probably tell you that. But in the event that something were to actually happen, you sure as shit would be happy that you did it. Sure. If you needed to resort to that. But I get, really, when you get outside of your emotions and your, all these things, these duties that you have, the things that you feel you owe to people, and to take care of this person, that person, whatever. If it's something natural or something like just completely catastrophic that like nothing will ever be the same again, it's like, is there a point? You know what I mean? I hate to be like, to take that mentality, but it's like, is there a point to surviving something so horrible that like the world you knew and grew accustomed to will never exist like that again? A
lot of people feel that way. I'm with you. I tend to agree with that in many respects. I mean, like I said, to me, it needs to make a lot of sense if you're living in an area that has, just known for tornadoes and hurricanes and different things like that, to where something is coming. I know it's coming, and it's not severe enough to where well, of course, if it's a tornado, you just have to get somewhere quickly, of course, to maybe survive.
Yeah.
So yeah, all that makes a lot of sense. To where you can get somewhere safe, you have enough food and water to last for the storm to pass, and but like you say, just to have it set up to where you could be down somewhere for an extended period of time and come out to a world that you say that you may not want to live. It's an interesting mindset. These people, well, of course, that's what their mindset is. I'm going to survive. So I'm going to find a way to survive, and if the world around me is different, I'm going to figure it out and adapt and try to carry on the human race. There's all these thoughts, I'm sure, go into the minds of folks who have the means to come up with or to pay for these things. And I don't know. It's very interesting. I love the show The Twilight Zone. I'll just mention this. One of my favorite Twilight Zone episodes, very interesting. A guy, and this is in the 50s, 60s, black and white. He built a bomb shelter in his basement, right, just to prepare, because this was at the time where there were air raid sirens and all that, and people had to get somewhere safe and stuff like that. So he built a bomb shelter.
This is, by the way, when Blast from the Past takes place, so it's the same deal. But yes, go on.
Very good, interesting. So it's a dinner party with neighbors. Neighbors in this little street somewhere in the United States, and it's all very friendly. It's a birthday party, so it's cake, and everybody's friendly, all this type of stuff. And the next thing you know, there's like air raid sirens, right? And the family, they want to get down to the basement. It's a doctor and and his wife and kid, and they're like, we're going to go to our shelter. And his friends did not set up the shelters, and now it's this whole thing. So it quickly, from a setting a moment ago where people are just friendly neighbors, and now people are clamoring to get
Lord
into
of the Flies.
Exactly.
Yep.
They're trying to get into this bomb shelter, threatening, pleading, trying to break in, and it just gets quickly out of control. And then, inevitably the alarm goes off and all that. And all of a sudden it's like they have to stop and reflect, and they really got to see who each other really are. And from that moment, it's never going to be the same. It's like, it's an ingenious episode.
Yeah.
Go check that out. But anyways, all right. Well, if you could be, it's possible. It is possible. Somebody right now, Nick, is watching this very episode in a luxury bunker. The world itself is gone. Is no longer. It's no longer the same.
Yeah.
And somebody could be enjoying this very episode, combing through the archives of YouTube or something like that. So,
human history, we're part of it.
Yes. That's right. So it's possible.
Yeah.
So you are. We wish you the best. We did not have the money to. Likely, maybe we did. I don't know. But at this stage, though, that this is 2022. We Dean, Nick, and I did not have the means to build a luxury bunker ourselves. So, if things continue along this path, then we may not be on this earth any longer, but we hope you continue to enjoy episodes of Convincing Idiots. Now, if you try to order merch, it probably will be a very slow delivery.
These ad reads probably will not make a lot of sense to you.
That's right.
Yeah.
So,
Mayor Matt, and for those of you not watching in the future, let this be a lesson to you. Okay?
That's right.
Brian just said we didn't have the money. So if you're not already subscribing to us or giving us $1 or $2 a month, be the difference. All right?
Yeah.
We might be able to help somebody.
Yeah. We would like to survive in a luxury bunker somewhere.
Absolutely. Maybe with the help from you or any of your friends, and more than just my mom, we can survive this catastrophe.
Yeah, come on, guys. Yeah, our families, the jury's out. At least the three of us. So
yeah. Well, we'll be all right. We'll survive.
All right. Okay. Yeah, that is strange to think about that. It could be.
Yeah,
it could be. You never know. All right, so we're gonna take it. We're gonna take another break.
I don't like where this is going.
Yeah, it's very dark very quickly, isn't it?
Yeah, real dark.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna take another break. We're gonna come back with a light topic. Right. So sequels, nothing to do with disaster or whatever, unless it's in the movie.
Other than what's going on in Dean's bathroom right now.
That's
probably.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. So
that is disastrous.
Right. Yes, big time. A lot of waffle stomping in there, Nick. So I don't know what's going on.
We have live footage from the scene, but we're not allowed to show it on YouTube. So yeah.
Yes, Dean has talked about paranormal experiences. Really, on our Halloween episode, he talked about that in his bathroom, but probably none today. No. Everything is keeping out of there today.
Yeah, they're staying away.
Yeah, the cat, everybody.
Poor Ernie. Yeah. We got a life flight. We got a life flight him out of there. I got to send somebody over there. We got to get Ernie out.
Yeah, so one more break, and we're going to come back with, again, like I say, sequels. Some of our some ones that we enjoyed, and some that we thought were not as good. So we'll be right back. And again, if you're listening to us and it's a post-apocalyptic, what else do you have to do?
Yeah, stay tuned for the sequel.
Yeah, just just hang out, wait for things to get better outside, and check out a few more episodes, will you?
Wait for the environment to heal itself.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, did you like that video? You know you did, and we know you did. So stop screwing around and go like that video, subscribe to our channel, and join us for some more.